Hello friends, I Anchal Sharma welcome you all on Adda247 and here we are here with a topic that is root words. So guys, as you all know, vocabulary is something that helps you a lot in every examination, right? Vocabulary is something that helps you, be it a banking examination, be it an SSC examination, wherever you have an examination, you have something related to vocabulary, and that is a major portion of English, right? That comes in as a major portion in English. Why? Because when you don't understand a word, when you are unable to understand a word, it is a possibility that you don't understand the meaning of the sentence as well, right? So to help this out, I am here with a show that is totally based on root words, and this will help you out in every examination and to understand all the words. Why do I say that? Because when we learn a word from an article, we only learn a simple word, right? But when we learn a root word, with this you can make a lot of words. For example, when I talk about buy means what? This means to, right? You can say bilateral, you can say bilingual, you can say bicycle. So yahan, So wherever you use by in a sentence, that takes you to the root words and that will be formed using to. So whenever we use root words, this is something that will help you a lot in understanding a vocabulary. I would suggest whenever you learn a root word, I will be giving you 5 words for each root word. I'll be making 5 words from each root word, but I would suggest whenever you get a root word, do one thing, make as many words as you can using this root word, right? For example, if I give you amble or I give you ambule, both of them means to walk or to move. Both of them means to walk or to move. Now you know the meaning of this root word. Try making as many words as you can through this. For example, you can use somnambulist, you can use ambulance, you can use ambulant, you can use amble. So all the words are formed using this root word only. So form as many words as you can by learning only one root word. With this, we will be starting another root word, that is memor. See, this is something that you can easily relate to. Why am I saying that? Because when I say memor, this is related to your brain. This is related to the ability that your brain consists of, right? So memor means to remember, to learn is what we mean by memor. For example, how many words can you make? For example, we have memory, we have memorate, we have commemorate, we have memorial, we have memorialize, right? So we have a lot of words just by using, we can make a lot of words just by using one root word. The root word is memor. You have this here, you have this here, you have it in between, you have it in the beginning of the sentence. So there's nothing like prefix or suffix. When I talk about prefix, it's a word that is placed in the beginning of the word only. When I talk about suffix, it's placed only in the end of the word. But when we talk about root words, it can be placed in the beginning, it can be placed at the end, it can be placed in the middle of the word as well. Right? So root words are something that will give you the exact meaning of what you have learned it as a root word. For example, if we talk about memory. Memory, what does this mean? When you store something in your mind, an ability to retain something. If you're told something or you visit a place, if you are memorizing it, that means you are storing that in your memory. And that ability to store something, that is what we mean by memory. We have memorate. We have memorate. There's another root word in this word. What is it? When we talk about ATE, small word, ATE. Whenever a word ends with ATE, it will always form a verb. It will always form a verb. So when I say memorate, memorate, what does this mean? To learn something. To learn something, obviously it's a verb. So it will be learning something, to retain something, to learn something, and that is what we mean by memorate. Commemorate, what does this mean? It means to honor a memory of. If you honor a memory of somebody, for example, you must have seen some award functions in the memory of somebody. This award is in the memory of somebody. For example, there was an award function and there an award was there after Yashraj ji. So what was that? That was commemorate. That means you are giving honor to somebody in his or her memory, right? Next is memorial. Memorial means something that you preserve as a memory. Preserve as a memory. Something that you want to keep as a memory is memorial. For example, Taj is a memorial. Taj Mahal is a memorial place. So why is it? Because this was made in the memory of somebody, right? Next is memorialize. Memorialize meaning it says relating to remember. Something is related to remembering something, to retain something in your mind. That is what we mean by memorialize. So you can make a lot of words using memor itself, and that is again a root word. So I suppose the words that you have learned through memor is helpful for you. And let's move on to the other word as well. With memor you have learned 8 as well, right? The other word is arth. A-R-T-H-R or A-R-T-H-R-O. When I talk about earth or arthro, that means it is related to joint. It is related to joint, and especially the joints in your body. For example, this elbow joint, the knee joint, the joint related to your body. So what we relate to arth or arthro gives us the meaning of joint, and especially the joints related to our body parts. For example, we have arthroscope. Arthroscope. See, there is a word scope. You can understand if you know the meaning of scope and arthro. You can easily understand the meaning of this word. We have arthritis. Arthritis. This is a kind of a disease that you might be knowing. We have arthropod. It's arthropod. A-R-T-H-R-O-P-O-D. Right? Similarly, we have arthrodynia. We have arthrology, right? If we talk about arthroscope, what does this mean? It means that it's a tool through which you can see inside a joint. It's a scientific tool. It's a tool to see inside a joint. Then you have arthritis. Arthritis means inflammation in the joint. Inflammation in the joint. Especially when your muscles over the joint swells. That is what we mean by arthritis. Then we have arthropod. That means invertebrates. Invertebrates, I suppose you understand the meaning of this with joint legs, with jointed legs. Like for example, you have spider. That's an insect. That's an insect that have a lot of legs, right? So that is what we mean by arthropod. One having a lot of legs together. That is what we mean by arthropod. Dynia. This is what we mean. It means when you have, see, dynia means pain. Okay, dynia means pain. And arthro means joint. So arthrodynia, what does this mean? Pain in joints is what we mean by arthrodynia. Arthology. Now logy, you very well know, this means study. Arthro is joint. So arthrology, what does this mean? It means scientific study of pain in joints. When you have pains in joints and the doctors who study that, those are known as arthrologists, and the study that they do is arthrology. Okay, so this is what we mean by arth or arthro. I suppose this is clear. This is all related to your joints and especially the joints of your body. The other word that we have here is burse. B-U-R-S. Burse. See, burse meaning pouch or purse. Burse means pouch or disperse. Somewhere you keep your treasure. The amount that you have earned, the place that you use to do that is what we mean by burst. For example, we have bursar, we have bursary. See, bursary, you must be known to this word. Why? Because bursary is a word that was there in every school, right? Then we have disperse. We have bourse. We even have imburse. Right, imburse. So see, when we talk about, I told you bursary is something that was there in every school. What do we mean by that? That it was there in every school. That means that it is something, it's a place where the institution, the college, the school, it keeps its funds in, right? So bursar, who is he? He is an officer in charge of funds. The one who is in charge of the funds kept in the institution, in the school, that is what we mean by bursar. Bursary is a place, the treasury, rather I would say, the treasury of college or institutions' funds. Disburse, see, burse means money, burse means pouch, burse means purse, but dis means what? Separate, to get away. So disburse, what does this mean? It means to expend, especially from public fund. For example, if we refer to the government, we give taxes, that is collected, and from that an amount is spent, that an amount is expended to do what? That amount is expended to for our benefit, and that is taken from where? That is taken from public funds only. So if somebody is taking amount from public funds to do something, that is what we mean by disburse. Then we have bourse. Bourse means a French, this is related, it's a French word, okay. Bourse, what does this mean? It means a French stock exchange. So in French, when you call a stock exchange, you can easily say bourse. Then we have imburse. Imburse means to supply or stock with money. If you are filling in an amount of money in something, or in a room, in a purse, in a bag, that is what we mean by imbursing. So all in all, burse or burse word means that this word, what does this mean? It means related to money, it means related to purse, it means related to pouch, but all in all, it means related to money only, right? The next word that we have here is seller. It's S-E-L-E-R. Seller is related to fast. It is related to speed, right? Seller is related to fast or speed. Fast or speed. We can use a word like accelerate. We can form decelerate. We can use celerities. We can use accelerant. We can use scleritis. Right. So these are the words that again have seller in it. It can be, as I told you, it can be in the beginning of the word, it can be in the end of the word, or it can be in the middle of the word as well. So this is what happens with a root word, right? Seller is related to fast or speed. Now, no matter how many words you form using these, you will be having a meaning related to fast, you'll be having a meaning related to speed only. For example, if I say accelerate, when I say AC, this means to increase, right? When I add AC to a word, this means to increase. So accelerate means to increase the speed of something. For example, you have accelerators, right? You have accelerators in your bikes, in your cars. What does it do? It increases the speed of the car, the bike, right? So this is what it does. Decelerate. When I say celerate, this means what? Increasing. When I say decelerate, what does it do? D means getting separated. D means away. So decelerate, what does this mean? It means to reduce the speed of something. So accelerate and decelerate, these are opposites to each other, antonyms to each other. Next is celerity. Celerity means swiftness of movement. You must have seen people moving really quick. You must have seen athletes moving really quick. That is what we mean by celerity. Next is accelerant. Accelerant is always a substance or a person that is causing acceleration. So you can say accelerator is an accelerant. Why? Because it is something that causes acceleration. This is something that causes the speed to increase. So that is what we mean by accelerant. Next we have celeritis. That means increasing ill behavior. If you keep increasing, if somebody has a negative opinion about you, if somebody keeps increasing that negative opinion about you, that is what we mean by celeritis, right? So celer means fast, or this is related to speed. The other word that we have related to this session is chron. Now see, I suppose this is something you can easily relate to. Chron. You must have gone through the watches that are chronographical, right? So chron, what does this mean? Chron means related to time. When I say watch, that means chron is related to time. For example, we have chronic, we have chronicle, we have chronological, we have chronograph, we have synchronize. Now really, what does this mean? We have chron in every word, right? And this will be related to time in some or the other manner. When I say chronic means longing for long time. Something that stays for a very long time, that is chronic. For example, this word is generally used with your diseases. For example, he has got chronic malaria. That means a malaria that has been running for a really long time. Next we have chronicle. Chronicle means an arrangement of time period. Okay, a systematic arrangement of time period. Then we have chronological. Chronological, what does this mean? Again, this is what we mean by arranging events, past events rather. Arranging past events according to time, right? Next we have chronograph. This means a record of past time. And then we have sync. See, sync, what does this mean? Sync means then you have same, when you have similar, and chron is related to time. So what do we mean by synchronize? Synchronize means when something happens at the same time. So all in all, chron, what does this mean? It means related to time. It means related to what? Related to time only, or longing last. The last root word for this session is COGN, cogn. Cogn means to know, to understand, to know something, to learn something, to understand something. It can be cogn or it can be con as well, right? For example, we say recognition. We say incognito. You must be using this, isn't it? We generally use it through internet, right? Incognito method or incognito mode of our internet. Then we have recognize. We have connoisseur. We have cognizant. So all the words have con or cogn in it, right? First word is cognition or recognition. When I say cognition, it means to learn. When I say recognition, this means learning again. Then we have incognito. This means disguised so no one knows you. So if you're hiding your identity, then you use what? Incognito, right? Recognize, what does this mean? It means learn again. Then we have connoisseur. Connoisseur is somebody who is a learned person, somebody who has all the knowledge of a stream. So it says one who has learned a lot about anything. It can be an expert in wine, it can be an expert in food, it can be an expert in anything. So it's a connoisseur, right? Cognizant. This is a learned person. This is a learned person. As you say savant, that is what we mean by cognizant. So this was the last word of root words. I hope this will help you a lot and you will be able to understand. As now you have got 6 root words, right? Try making as many words as you can using these 6 root words. I have told you 5 for each, but I want you to make them 10, 15. Try making as many root words as you can with this, okay? So thank you so much for joining me on Adda247. Keep watching.